Okay, so like I said, I'll call the meeting to order because there's going to be an election today. So we'll start with the approval of the agenda. If there's a mover and a seconder for that.
So be.
Lloyd and Phil. And is there any changes or amendments anybody needs, or? Okay.
Just on
oh.
just on 4.1, it's minor. You got November 11th, 2021. That should be 2020.
Okay.
I'm sure you already caught that.
I didn't. Thank you, Lloyd. That's just the thing I need someone to catch. Okay, so all in favor?
Yep.
Great. Any declarations of pecuniary interests? Seeing none.
No.
And approval of the minutes of the November 11th, 2020 meeting. Get a mover and a seconder for that.
I'll move that, John.
And sorry, did I see your hand there, Mark?
Yes.
Okay. Any changes or anything for that?
Tom, I was at that meeting and my name's not on there, that's all.
Okay, thank you. So it'll be as amended then. I'll add that. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay. We don't have any delegations today, so we'll go right to 6.1, election of chair and vice chair. So I'll open the floor to nominations first. Does anyone want to go ahead and put their name forward, or someone else's name for chair?
I'll nominate Lloyd to carry on.
Yeah, me too. I was going to do that, but I was muted. I'll do that.
Okay, and would you agree to stand, Lloyd?
Yes.
What a good guy.
Any other nominations? Okay, so you are chair by acclamation there, sir. No need for a vote. What about vice chair? Anyone want to stand or nominate somebody for that?
I nominate Phil Pike.
Do you accept the nomination, Phil?
I guess I've sort of been told to. Has been nominated, yeah, sure. Here.
Okay. Again, if there's no other nominations, and seeing none, then you are also elected by acclamation.
There you go.
And so from there, I'll let the chair take over from number 6.2, budget overview or discussion.
Okay, thanks, Tom. As you know, council has approved the budget for 2021. So therefore, our budget was approved that we presented last fall. Just a little housekeeping here for anyone. Any of the councilors got anything to report on that or mention anything?
Nothing here really. I think council was pleased, like they were with all committees, that we came in at a 0% increase, right? And the way this year's going, we'll probably do 0 next year.
Yes. Okay. That's 6.2. 6.3, public health restriction for 2021 events. That the committee councils cancel all in-person summer events due to ongoing public health restrictions. So that's concerts in the park, that's movies in the parks. That will take us right up to September. The only thing we have to follow up on is in 2020, we put a down payment on the bouncer castles and stuff like that. So we need to follow up with Linda Woodfield to make sure that they're carrying the down payment from 2020 to 2021 and to 2022, I guess. If you like, I can follow up with that.
Do you remember how much that was, Lloyd?
No, I don't remember.
Thank you.
Anyone else got anything to say on 6.3? Okay. So all events are canceled.
So if we could just get a mover and a seconder for that one, Lloyd, and then we'll have it in a minute.
All right, having a motion to move this. Mark, and second by Phil. All in favor?
Yep.
Carried. Tom, just so you know, I can't see everybody, so I can only see a few people. So if somebody is putting up their hand, I can't see it, then.
Okay, you can change that. You're on your iPad, right?
Yes.
There's a little button that should say view. It'll have like almost looks like a waffle, like a square waffle with like some little squares on it.
Should be in your upper left, Lloyd.
Is it in the left on iPads? Okay.
I think so.
Oh,
If you click the view button, you can change what you're seeing.
okay.
The gallery view. That's what it says.
Yeah, gallery view is what you want. Yeah.
All right, I don't see that, but I'm gonna carry
It's
on.
okay. We'll keep an eye out for you.
Yeah, we just go from black and white to color.
Oh, there's Jim. Didn't see you. Okay, 6.4 Canada Day decorating contest. Emily, would you like to speak on this as you sat with the DBIA?
Great. Thanks, Lloyd. Yeah, and you and I have had a little bit of conversation on this. The fact that we're not doing anything this year, and that, you know, it's pretty labor intensive to get the digital archives to do something like what we did last year. So of course there was conversation about not doing anything, and I don't like that. So I think we need to kind of engage the community a little bit. And DBIA, there was a discussion at a couple of our meetings over the last little while that we kind of run the same idea as we did at Christmas, where people could decorate in their patriotic colors and submit a photo, and then we would make random draws. The DBIA has committed to, once again, 10 $100 Visa cards, hopefully with an invitation that most of folks will shop within Brighton to use those. But you know, we can't get people to shop where they want to, but that's kind of the idea about it. So yeah, I think it worked the last time really well. I think we partnered pretty good with the DBIA, so it would be nice if we could do that again. So yeah, the other thing, if I can just add to it a little bit, I also been, Heather Ratz, the CEO from the library, had also reached out to me to see if we were doing anything. They would like to kind of shoulder on it as well. Of course, the monetary amount would be different as their budget's a little bit tighter for what they can do, but maybe we could involve maybe kids with, maybe a coloring contest, or kids could submit pictures and they would have a couple of prizes, whether we helped out and supported them with that, with, maybe books or things like that. I'm not sure. I had invited Heather to attend, but she had another commitment at 4:30, so she wasn't able to participate. I will take whatever conversation back to her, as I also sit on the library board. So it's just a little bit of community engagement, but I think we need to kind of ramp up some spirit somewhere. That's it.
I think it's a great idea that we do something like that, and DBIA has donated 10 $100 Visa cards. I think we should be able to match it. It's up to the committee, and I think if we have Ben do the advertising and put it out there well ahead of time, and then pick a subcommittee to go ahead and pick the winners, if we do it the same way we did at Christmas time, I think it'd be a great idea. What do other people think?
I agree with you, Lloyd. I think it was, as Emily said, it was a great success. I think at Christmas from our standpoint, I don't know, if Emily, if you had any formal feedback from any people, but I think it went well. There were a lot of participants. And it does get people motivated, which is good.
So Emily, what was the library thinking on for kids coloring contest? What were they thinking there?
I don't really know, Lloyd. Heather and I just had a very loosey-goosey conversation on that, and you know, it was just a couple of ideas that we kind of ran along. I know last year they did the same kind of thing with kids submit pictures with, you know, the red and white with kids dressed up or that kind of thing. So it might be the same idea. I will, before the week is over, have a phone chat with Heather and see how we can make that work. And then I can just put it in an email, send it either to Tom or to Tom and you, and we can kind of share with the rest of the committee. I don't think we need to meet again but it would be just, like I said, the decorating stuff, a lot of that is done by adults and stuff, but you know, kids are looking for something fun to do as well. And you know, if there's a contest, coloring a page or dressing up in red and white is not that big a deal. So, but like say, I could talk with Heather, not sure, like I said, if there would be any extra cost involved from their end, but I would ask her to break down something and maybe send a proposal or something and forward that to this committee.
So nearest I can make out, Emily, if we do this with the DVIA and then the library wants to do something,
yeah,
they could tag on with us through the advertising, and then they could look after the winners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more everybody kind of, like I said, more partner with everybody. You know, we'll see where it goes. I'll speak to her, see if they want to piggyback on that. I mean, it was kind of her idea to reach out to me. She wondered what we were doing, and at the time, everything was up in the air whether we would do anything. But I think getting kids involved as well. Kids need something different right now too. Everybody's isolated at home. It's not just adults and seniors. It's kids who need to see something as well. So that's my idea. That's all.
Okay. Does anyone else have any comments?
Oh, Mark.
I like the idea. And I'll put a motion on the floor for us to match the DBIA's contribution.
Do we have a seconder?
I'd be happy to second that, Lloyd.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Carried. So we will leave it that Emily will contact the library people and then get a hold of Tom and I and see how they want to do it so we can do the advertisement. Tom, is Ben here?
Yeah, he's listening. He's actually.
Yeah, I'm here.
on the road. Oh, there he is.
Okay, so Ben, you didn't weigh in on this. Are you okay to go ahead with advertising, and how much money would you be looking at?
Shouldn't need too much money at all. Well, whatever's in the budget will be more than enough to cover whether we do flyers or a little bit of digital boosting on Facebook or something like that. But we already have our radio spot that we pay for yearly. So our reach on social media is really strong. That we do that. That costs nothing. I can get Natalie to do an editorial, Hamilton to do an editorial, right? Independent. That won't cost us anything. So I don't see that being very much money.
So you're thinking 500?
Oh yeah, if I spend $100, it won't be much.
Okay, we will have to have a motion on up to so much money on that, correct, Tom? Because we're spending money.
Yeah, that's best practice for sure.
Yeah, so we say up to 500. Then that way it gives Ben some leeway. I don't know if you want to do posters or not.
Yeah, I think we should get something out into the hot spots for sure.
Okay.
Pardon the pun, the COVID pun, but I mean the high volume walking traffic areas.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll need a motion to spend no more than 500 on advertising that Ben will do.
I'll move that.
Okay, and seconder,
I'll second.
that would be Mark. All in favor? I believe that's carried. Tom, is it?
Carried.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. 6.5. Department of Canadian Heritage Grant. Mr. Miller, would you like to speak on that? Jim?
Yeah, just had to unmute myself here. Yeah, we were received an email a couple of weeks ago from Heritage Canada, and they are giving us a grant of $2,000 to go towards our Canada Day festivities.
Jim, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Are we compelled to spend all of that? If we don't, do we have to send it back?
I think it's one of those where if you don't spend it all, you would reimburse them. But they'd like to see something, whether it's a webinar or something like, that we can do in the community. So that's what we received. So it's basically what we had minus the firework
Right.
money that we put in our original application.
So doing what we're doing with this kind of contest, does that qualify? And would it just be a matter of adding a small video to send it back? Or I'm just saying.
It should qualify based on what they're saying. I mean, they're making suggestions of that, just because they know that you can't have a crowd or anything like that.
Right.
During the stage show.
Okay, so I think that would be a good idea, Emily, if Jim thinks it's okay and they pass it, that we could use it on the $1,000 for the.
Well, I mean, I can call them tomorrow or at least email them and just ask. I know we have the money in the budget anyways, right?
Right.
Yes.
So
Right.
I mean, I will get a hold of Heritage Canada tomorrow and see if that is part of would be funded by them, and then I can email everybody and let you know one way or the other.
Well, I guess this is where I'm going. It's always nice to get money from the government. I hate giving it back. So if the library can piggyback and the advertisement, and maybe we get a Canada Day message from the mayor and maybe, the Legion president or something, that's kind of easy peasy to do. If that could all fit in, basically there's our $2,000 spent, right? We could spend it all.
Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna look at what I have here.
Maybe you can use the monies to help the library out.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, we're flush and I think DBIA's got the money to spend, so.
Yeah. like,
Offset.
that could enhance, their contest as well, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't think you can see me. Can you?
I can.
Okay, because I've got my screen up here. I got the letter. If you won't mind, I can read it.
Go ahead.
On behalf, Mr. Miller, on behalf of the Minister of Canadian Heritage, it is my pleasure to inform you that your application for funding has been approved. A grant in the amount of $2,000 will be awarded to help your organization carry out its activities under the Celebration and Commemoration Program, Celebrate Canada component. This funding will be allocated over one government fiscal year and will be subject to certain terms, conditions, and appropriation of funds by Parliament and the budget levels of the program. One of our program representatives may be in contact with you in the near future to review the terms and conditions related to this funding. In closing, we'd like to take this opportunity to wish you and the members of your organization the greatest success in your endeavors. So for me reading this and in past experience, I think as long as you're using it to, do something with Canada Day, I think you're pretty much in good shape.
So Jim, I think it'd be safe to say, and to the committee members, that if we took 1,000 for Visa cards and we already set up to 500 for advertisement, that would leave $500 or more left for the library.
You may have to, the library may have to invoice us for their costs or something, just to make it paper trail wise for audit and to show that we're just not giving it to another group.
Correct.
I'm sure that would go over well with the funding if you're giving it to another group.
I understand what you're saying. So they did an invoice. That should work fine.
Or, or we cover expenses somehow, if they,
Or we include it right in with us and then they look after that part.
yeah, whatever way, it just has to show value for something.
Yeah.
Emily, what was the library's thought on pricing for the kids? What would they be wanting to give or hand? I mean, I don't think a kid needs $100.
No. What they did last year, Phil, is they had books, prizes of books, and I want to say a little bit of swag, Frisbee with Brighton Public Library written on it, bookmarks. There wasn't a monetary value at all. It was just stuff.
Good. Yeah, that's great. So if we could out with $500 or even more, even for that.
Yeah. So if they, even if they spent $200 or $300, if they spent it, could they, Tom or Jim, I don't know, you are staff, we can't spend the money, Mark and I can't, but I'm wondering if the library ordered a bunch of this stuff, could they just could wherever it comes from just be invoiced directly to the municipality? Or is it better than for the library to pay the invoice and then ask for reimbursement from the municipality? You guys would know that paperwork more than we do.
I think it'd be much easier if we did the payment of whatever they wanted.
Okay.
Than the other way around, because then they were showing that we're purchasing the stuff for Canada Day.
Okay.
You can always have the component of a youth component or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good idea.
Okay, I'll speak to Heather. I'll make an effort tomorrow or Thursday, won't be tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, to speak with Heather,
Sure.
trying to get her to roll on that, and they would have to probably connect with you then, Jim, but you
Oh,
deal
yeah,
with
yeah,
Heather
yeah.
anyway, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we do it all, we do it all the time with different other groups.
Yeah.
They give us what they need to buy and we do it. And that way, the paper trails us.
Yeah, keeps it cleaner. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think we spent that $2,000. That was our goal.
And we didn't blow our own budget.
So Tom, what's the motion going to be?
Yeah, I guess it probably, we should probably have something on here that we wish to use maybe the remainder of the $2,000 grant or any remaining funds in support of the library's Canada Day efforts or celebration.
Are we gonna have an issue, guys, like we did with the awards? What's a child? Have they got that? Did they cover that off last year, Emily?
Good point.
Phil, I don't know that.
Or are they just gonna, we'll just go with common sense, I guess?
Yeah, kids, right? Let's say, well, what do I say, 12 and under?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That way they would have books and swag age appropriate, right? They do a little bit. Probably they would do a primary, a junior, and a senior kind of situation, right? That would work, right?
Okay, Tom, so how about put forth a motion. We accept the $2,000 with thanks. $1,000 will cover the so-called housing decorating prizes on behalf of the committee. And we include the advertising, and the library will be offered the remainder of the $2,000. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sound good?
So we need a motion?
That's the motion there. Phil's got that.
Yeah.
So we just need a seconder.
I can second that one.
Good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for the money, Jim.
You're
Good
welcome.
job. Good job. Yeah.
Who's ever talking to Heather, just let me know what the final kind of program is so we can make sure it's kind of clearly outlined when we go to get everything out there to the community.
Yep. I will speak to Heather. She can also follow this YouTube clip so she can hear what we've discussed, but I'll get on, sorry, it's a training. I'll get on that as soon as I can.
Great.
Okay, Ben.
Be the visa.
Yep.
Ben, we didn't discuss about urban or rural. I just thought we could just have it as one.
Yeah.
The municipality of Brighton.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah, I think it would work better.
Okay. Easy enough.
Okay. Okay, anything else to add on there, Jim?
No, just got to keep in mind, we have to do a final report, right? Back to the Heritage Canada. So anything and everything that we can do, like Ben was saying, any programming or anything that we have at our disposal, so we can write the final wrap up to them. Is
Okay.
appreciated.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind for the next meeting then. Or do they want it before then?
Oh, no, it'll be afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thanks for that. Okay. Number 7, correspondence. I don't believe we have any, do we, Tom?
Mr. Chair.
No. Number 8, next meeting date. Do you want to meet in September? And then we can discuss whether we're going to have a Santa Claus parade or not.
Works for me.
I believe we're the second Tuesday. It's been so long since we've been meeting regularly, but it's the second Tuesday, correct?
That's right.
So that'd be September 14th at 4:30.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Mhm.
motion to adjourn.
No, I've got a question.
Oh,
Looks like Mark has too, or put his
Yeah.
hand up. Are we going to include a mayor's message and maybe from the Legion or whatever in the Canada Day thing? We don't need to get the digital archives groups to do that. Brian can probably do it on his phone and,
I
yeah,
can definitely organize that
okay,
and make it, schedule it out for the 1st of
Yeah.
July.
okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Mark?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention it. Oh, sorry. I mentioned
Mark,
it
go
to
ahead.
Tom earlier in an email. I think we're down at least 2 or 3 committee members. So do we think we should be putting something out there to start collecting names to be reviewed to add back to our committee? Because I think we lost Barb, correct?
Yes.
And Neil is gone because I think she's moving to Quinte West. She's finally found a home. I don't know, Sherry Burkett, did she step down?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're down 3 committee members.
So, Mark, I did
Or
speak to
Murray.
Tom about this, and I suggest that we hold off maybe till fall, because there's no sense bringing people on if we're not going to have meetings. Now, if we want to advertise over the summer and bring some people on in the fall, I don't have a problem with that. And the other thing discussed was if they come on in the fall or first of the year, will they just be to the end of the term, or will they stay on another term because it's such a short turnaround for them?
It would just be the remainder of the term. I believe all the committees of council are term-based,
Right.
council term-based, sorry.
I just think it'd be great if you can get some interested parties, because if we think post-COVID, and if we can have something at Santa Claus parade time, it would be nice to have the extra bodies to help out, and they might be interested in sticking around for the next term.
Would it be possible, if you know that you've got that and you've got such a short turnaround time, is it possible just to recruit individuals? Or is that circumventing the process too much? If you know what I mean.
You could, as far as volunteers, like you could try to get some people interested to volunteer with the thought that they may, to sort of test the waters for them. But yeah, we would have to do the full process of receive the applications and have them reviewed.
Okay.
But if you knew people that were interested, you could have them fill out the application, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we are down I think over half our members now. So maybe there's something, what do you think, Tom? Should we put it out for the summer or wait till fall, or when do you recommend?
I think that's probably wise to put it out maybe maybe in July. And that way we get our submissions in before August, do the review, and then hit the ground running with maybe a couple new members in September.
Yep. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mark.
You need a
Anything-
motion, Tom, or?
That's actually just a operational thing, really. So I'll just make a note to advertise in July.
Okay. Is there anything else before we adjourn? Sorry about that. Okay,
I got a
Motion.
question for Chief Smith. Where did you say that fire was in Quinny West?
McMaster and Highway 2.
When we were on the meeting, I got a text message from my wife saying she's caught up in a traffic jam and she doesn't know why. So that must be it.
I just drove by it, Counselor Bateman. It's at that farm that does this sawdust and mulch and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
On the south side of the road there. It looked really bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
crap.
must be what she's stuck in.
Just wood, that
Yeah.
would burn pretty quick.
oh yeah, Brick Lane. Okay. All right, motion to adjourn. Jim? Seconder?
I can't. make a
Marsh. Thanks, everyone. Okay, bye.
See you
Bye.
later.